A Russian Mi-8 military helicopter crashed in the Oryol region, approximately 368 kilometers, 229 miles, southwest of Moscow on Friday while on a training flight, killing all on board. The helicopter went down in a deserted area. There is no damage on the ground. The crew did not survive. A technical malfunction is considered the preliminary cause of the crash, the Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement, without mentioning the number of crew members. The Russian Aerospace Forces has sent a commission to the site to investigate the crash, it said. Oryol Region Governor Andrei Klitschkov said emergency services and police are conducting investigations in the Uritsky district, where the incident occurred. There is no threat to residents, he said, and asked the public not to share photos or videos from the scene. Ukrainian drone units from the Tavria Group destroyed a Russian 9K-32 two-Tor M2 air defense system with precise aerial drops on the Tavria front. Another pricey piece of Russian gear up in smoke. In another major blow to Russia's air defense capabilities, Ukrainian forces have successfully destroyed a Tor M2 air defense system, one of the Kremlin's most advanced short-range platforms designed to protect high-value targets from aerial threats. The strike, captured on video and verified by multiple sources, shows the moment a precision-guided munition hits the stationary Tor M2 system, triggering a massive explosion. Flames erupt as the multi-million-dollar piece of hardware is reduced to smoldering wreckage within seconds. The Tor M2 is no ordinary system. It's designed to engage aircraft, drones, and even incoming missiles, capable of tracking multiple targets simultaneously. It's mobile, heavily armored, and built to operate even under electronic warfare conditions. But even with all that tech, it couldn't escape Ukraine's increasingly effective battlefield surveillance and strike coordination. This incident highlights not only the vulnerability of Russia's high-end systems, but also Ukraine's growing ability to identify, track, and eliminate key enemy assets with deadly precision. For Ukraine, this is more than just a tactical win. It's a clear signal that even Russia's most sophisticated gear is no longer safe behind the front lines. As the war grinds on, the battlefield is becoming a proving ground not just for manpower but for technology, precision, and intelligence. And this destroyed Tor M2 serves as a burning reminder of that evolving reality. Russian blogger Professor Dmitry Vinnik reports on survivors from battles near Toretsk and Orikovo, describing devastating clouds of Ukrainian drones. Today, I interviewed quite a few wounded who survived the battles near Toretsk and Orikovo. Russian blogger, philologist provides a vivid description of overwhelming Ukrainian strength in drones near Pokrovsky. Information from the ground on the situation in the southern section of the Pokrovsky direction. They all say similar things. Clouds of drones and cluster munition strikes. One group of 6 people counted about 100 Mavics with drops and the same number of FPV kamikazes, which they call hysterics, in 5 days. One soldier, who was left alone, said that he saw 11 Mavics above him at one moment. They were all looking for him. They say that the drones are laid out in the fields and are in standby mode. They attack in automatic mode, which explains the often obvious redundancy of drones attacking one target. Our soldiers are convinced that the sky is for the enemy. They have no shortage of ammunition. However, it should be borne in mind that these are very important areas, to the defense of which the enemy throws his best forces. I talked to a former anti-tank gunner, because he was written off in the assault. He said that he hadn't seen the enemy use expensive anti-tank missiles for a year. They have a bunch of drones. It's very demoralizing. Undoubtedly, the war is becoming more and more brutal and inhumane. Since we have an advantage in long-range drones, not battlefield ones, I think it's worth increasing the pressure on the rear and sending hundreds of drones to one target for moral suppression, as was done the other day with the strike on the airfield. Ukrainian FPV drone struck a Russian BMP-2 with infantry in Donetsk Oblast, causing ammo detonation. The vehicle was destroyed and the crew eliminated. Some of you are saying that we criticize Trump all the time. Well, we just point out absurdity whenever we see it, whether it's Trump or anyone else. And to be fair, Trump has done some good things. Abolishing the transgender insanity is something we agree with, and we have no problem saying that. And we also totally agree with this. Trump says U.S. military won't spread democracy at gunpoint or change foreign cultures with drag shows. Its role is to dominate and eliminate threats to the U.S., per his statement.
The job of the U.S. Armed Forces is not to host drag shows, to transform foreign cultures, but to spread democracy to everybody around the world at the point of a gun. The military's job is to dominate any foe and annihilate any threat to America, anywhere, anytime, and any place.
Tusk called the Polish presidential candidate out. PM Tusk, there's no better term than treason for Naraki's statement opposing Ukraine's NATO membership. Tusk calls it one of the biggest scandals of the campaign, warning Poland must not echo Putin's demands under any pretext. Baykar has tested its Kizal drone, PT-4, presumably powered by a Ukrainian AI-3 22F turbojet engine from Ivchenko Progress. The afterburner enables it to reach supersonic speeds and maintain high maneuverability, reports Yigal Levin. In just over a decade, Baykar has gone from a little-known defense company to a global leader in unmanned aerial systems. Best known for its Bayraktar TB2 drone, Baykar has reshaped modern warfare and placed Turkey firmly on the map as a serious player in military technology. The Bayraktar TB2 has seen combat in multiple theaters: Syria, Libya, Nagorno-Karabakh, and most notably Ukraine. There, it gained global attention for its effectiveness against Russian forces, destroying armored vehicles, air defense systems, and supply convoys, all at a fraction of the cost of traditional air power. Its success on the battlefield has made it a symbol of low-cost, high-impact warfare. Baykar's appeal isn't just military, it's also political. The company, co-led by Selçuk Bayraktar, the son-in-law of President Erdogan, has become a national pride project. The drones are designed, built, and tested in Turkey, boosting domestic industry and reducing reliance on foreign arms. The company is expanding rapidly, building new production facilities and striking export deals with over 24 countries. Its newer platforms, like the Bayraktar Akıncı and the Kızılelma jet-powered drone, promise even greater range, payload, and autonomy, pushing Baykar into the next generation of drone warfare. Baykar's rise isn't just a success story for Turkey, it's a glimpse into the future of combat, where small, smart, and cost-effective drones are rewriting the rules of the battlefield. Polish fighter jets intercepted a Russian Su-24 aircraft conducting dangerous maneuvers over international waters in the Baltic Sea. This news was reported by Polish RMF-24, citing a press conference by Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz. Last night, NATO's Joint Operational Command in Europe ordered a Polish fighter jet to intercept a Russian Su-24, the minister said. According to Kosiniak-Kamysz, aerial provocations by Russia are occurring with increasing frequency. In this case, the aircraft performed hazardous maneuvers that suggested the pilot's actions were both deliberate and reckless. The incident took place entirely in international airspace over the Baltic Sea. The aircraft in question was likely not a bomber, but a Su-24MR, a reconnaissance variant of the Su-24. The Su-24MR is equipped for radio reconnaissance and can locate operational radars used by NATO air defense systems. Russian Su-24MRs frequently operate in the Baltic Sea region, often flying close to NATO airspace and, on occasion, violating it. In addition, on Friday, May 21st, a Russian tanker from the so-called Shadow Fleet was observed near an underwater power cable linking Poland and Sweden. The vessel was reportedly conducting suspicious maneuvers near the cable. Following intervention by Polish military forces, it altered course toward a Russian port. Yesterday, based on intelligence reports, we tracked a tanker previously listed as part of Russia's Shadow Fleet. It was maneuvering suspiciously, not in Polish territorial waters, but directly above subsea power cables owned by PSE, Kosiniak-Kamysz said. To investigate further, the Polish Navy dispatched the hydrographic survey ship ORP Heweliusz to the area. The vessel is tasked with monitoring underwater infrastructure and assessing any potential threats. We do not respond to provocations, but we do respond appropriately, both individually and collectively, the defense minister said. Ukrainian developers have tested new strike drones with a range exceeding 40 kilometers, aiming to expand the battlefield's kill zone. According to the Warthog Defense technology cluster, more than 10 teams of fixed-wing kamikaze drone manufacturers demonstrated their designs. The event is the first in a planned series of 3 tests focused on developing and refining Ukrainian long-range kamikaze drones. The objective is to establish a strike zone 30 to 40 kilometers deep, or more, where enemy forces cannot safely concentrate. The drones are intended to become a key asset for targeting logistics routes, supply depots, equipment, and air defense systems behind the front lines. Manufacturers are required to provide specialized video communication systems at an accessible cost, along with other specified technical features. The first round of testing was aimed at evaluating the readiness of current solutions in Ukraine and identifying the most effective ones. Based on the results, developers will refine their systems for the next stage of trials. In addition to finished drones, the event also showcased Ukrainian-made components and software, including AI-based technologies that could later be integrated into kamikaze drones to improve performance. Representatives of Ukraine's security and defense forces attended the event, met with developers, and received detailed briefings on the test outcomes. It was recently revealed that Ukraine has developed a new multi-role strike drone, the Pantsir-S, which can fly more than 800 kilometers.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.